Okay, guys, let's talk about Victor Osimhen and Napoli. What is happening between Victor Osimhen and Napoli? Now, there is this game Napoli played against, I think it's Bologna. Napoli drew that game 0-0 against Bologna. And Napoli had a penalty, which Victor Osimhen played the penalty, and he missed the penalty. So if Victor Osimhen had scored that penalty, Napoli should have won that game 1-0. So he missed that penalty, and the manager for Napoli, the coach for Napoli, during the game he substituted Victor Osimhen. And then Victor Osimhen wasn't happy that he substituted him in that game. I mean, it's normal that players will miss penalties. Even the very best players, the very, very best players, they have missed penalties. So it's not a new thing that players will miss penalty, or or best players in a team, would miss penalty. It's normal. So Victor Osimhen wasn't happy that the manager, took him out from the game. He wanted to remain in the game so that, bringing another striker, add to him, they could have a chance to win that game. And he himself wants to help his team to win that game. Of course, he wasn't happy that the manager substituted him. So the game ended 0-0. And then after the whole thing, Victor Osimhen apologized. According to a report, he apologized to his manager, he apologized to his teammate on how he reacted when they substituted him. He apologized. So after that, after the game, after the whole thing, we knew what happened. The Napoli TikTok account, something came up where there's a video that came up in the Napoli TikTok account where they were mocking Victor Osimhen. Like, for the video, they mock the player. I think with coconut, or saying Victor Osimhen was kind of begging he wants to play penalty in that video. So he won't play penalty for that video, and also he missed that penalty. So for Napoli to bring that kind of video for their best player, as long as I'm concerned, Victor Osimhen is the best player for Napoli. As at now, him be their best player. Even if after the season, last season, they don't even give him the best Serie A player, then can't give Kvaratskhelia. First, fine, Kvaratskhelia did very well last season for Napoli, but I was even surprised that they gave that award to his teammate and not him. For me, Victor Osimhen was supposed to be the best player last season in Italy. They were supposed to give him that, because without his goals, Napoli for no win that league. No, there's no two ways about it. Without his goals, Napoli for no win that league. Win. This guy scored 26 league goals for Napoli. Other season where they struggle to win, even when they there. Now when they get injury, maybe say he don't really stay out of him, they get injured most of those times when he don't there. But this last season where we say the player can't really stay fit. You see how many goals when you score and then go on to win the league. So for Napoli or anybody, because that video where they bring out from their TikTok account, that video not just create himself there. Somebody operates that thing. Now human being do that thing. So that person will do that thing first. They need to sack that person. That person will go create that thing. They need to sack that person, because this is total disrespect. This is your player. First, this person now your best player. Even if Victor Osimhen is not even the best player for Napoli, like even if as Napoli they're not even supposed to do this thing to any of their players. Even if even if the player not just a regular player for the squad, where they come in sometime or when they really see games play, as long as they're their player, they're not even supposed to do that kind of thing. Try to mock their player, let alone mocking their very best player. This is a player that most clubs in Europe now will want. As Victor Osimhen, then a player will say many big clubs go want him for their team. Many big clubs want a player like Victor Osimhen, and Napoli, do that kind of thing to this guy. So it's quite unfortunate that sometimes all these teams, they need to even, or all these clubs, they need to even appreciate what they get. So if not for Victor Osimhen, Napoli wouldn't have won the league. I know say the league na team, football na team sport. Everybody they involved. But you need a very good striker to win league titles. They like an obvious thing. And this guy, last season, he did very well for Napoli. And then Napoli decided to do this to him. So it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't really make any sense. Of course, his agent came out and said the player would take legal action against Napoli for that. I'm not going to forget say him won't sign a new contract for Napoli. Victor Osimhen wants to sign a new contract for Napoli, and that in his new contract, he wants to include a release clause in his new contract. We know that this last summer, there were clubs that were interested in him. Paris Saint-Germain wanted him. Chelsea were looking at him. Manchester United were looking at him. But the price that Napoli wanted to let him go for, if they would let him go, was around 150 to 200 million. So no club were ready to pay that kind of money. So that was why he did not really leave Napoli this summer. If they maybe had a release clause, a kind of a realistic release clause or affordable release clause, I don't think Victor Osimhen for even the Napoli now, unless he won't just still remain. But if say like I said, if they had a release clause, like say 70, 80 or 90 million, the player possibly might have left Napoli this past summer. So he wants to sign a release clause. Sorry, he wants to sign a new contract, and in his new contract, he wants to include a release clause because he knows that he will leave one day. He will leave one day. So signing a release, including including a release clause in his contract, he knows that's the best thing because it's difficult to deal with Napoli president. If you want to get his best player, it is really, really difficult. So I feel like it's the best thing if he will sign a new contract. Now that this thing has happened, I'm not too sure if he will sign a new contract even. Now that this thing is happening, I shouldn't forget Victor Osimhen will have 1 year left in his contract after this season. If he finishes this season, I think he will finish the season. I don't think he will want to leave in January, even with this thing that is happening between him and the club. So I think he will remain in the club from now to the season end. And then he will have 1 year left in his contract. So if you have 1 year left in his contract, I think even if he doesn't have a release clause, still it could be affordable for teams to get him. So yeah, so what's your thought, what's your opinion on this nonsense that Napoli did to their best player? It was really disrespectful, knowing that they have an asset in Victor Osimhen and they did that to him. And also, do you think he should include a release clause if he signed a new contract? Because he has to include an affordable release clause that club can be, happy to pay. Because I think next summer, Victor Osimhen possibly will leave Napoli. Your thought and your opinion. And so, guys, please, if you're watching the video on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to the channel Blue Point TV and also like the video. And also on Facebook, follow the channel Blue Point TV. Like and share the video. It's really important. Thank you. While I see you again, stay safe. Bye.